At a catcher. We're going to break down who it is and what does it mean. Also, some injury news. Tyler Glasnow, Evan Phillips done for the year. A mysterious Mookie toe injury. I also caught up with Dodgers pitcher, their best high-leverage right-handed reliever this year, Ben Casparius from the Dodgers clubhouse after yesterday's game. We'll get into that. And Shohei Ohtani just minutes ago faced hitters at Dodgers Stadium for the first time as a pitcher. That's coming up next on an emergency episode, a weekend episode of Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade. We got it, Parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Mookie Magic. Freeman gets a ball. Right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to a weekend edition of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. Friends call me DMAC, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Join the Discord channel too. That would really mean a lot if you join that Discord. Love to see that. Also, if you have not joined The Big Lead, it's my new show about all sports. Talk about everything sports related, the hottest stories in sports. We're giving away a Luka Doncic jersey. If you want to be eligible for that Luka Doncic jersey, if you go over there right now, comment Luka Magic on any video, you'll be eligible. And if you are subscribed. But okay, guys, lots to get into. So let's get right into it. I see you guys in the comment section, by the way, before we get into it. Avery Scantlin, D-Mac, Craig Osterberg, Jason Park, Gotani, BC. What's up, BC? Loyal to the soil, a Dodgers Nation day when Justin Lamas, hey, Doug, what a Champions League final. PSG. Como allez-vous? Yes. Aye, Paris. Look, honestly, I became a PSG because I picked him in FIFA. But, yeah, guys, lots to get into. Where was last night's episode? #1 Drake's fan. Yeah, I was at the game. Was in that clubhouse late. But we will get into it now. I'll tell you guys everything I heard, everything I saw. I'm still drunk from last night's win from Jesse Sanchez. Hey, man, Chuck McKain needs to come back. It's Saturday. Man, should I rock his shoey right? I don't know, man. I'm due for a shoey, though. I'll tell you that one. That's what Jesse Sanchez wants to see. I got to find a good reason. I think Monday, maybe a Yankee sweep. How about this? Dodgers sweep the Yankees. You're getting that shoey on Monday's episode. I'll tell you that much, okay? All right? We'll hit you with the shoey for sure. But all right, guys, got a lot of Dodgers news and nuggets to get into. It's going to be a shorter show, but I want to make sure you guys got everything you need heading into. We're almost at first pitch, believe it or not. A national TV Fox game. You got Will Warren going up against Landon Knack. But let's get into everything you need to know. Of course, let's hit it with the leadoff.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so the hottest story in Dodger baseball. We'll get to the Shohei Ohtani throwing in news, and I'll get you guys up to date on that. But we got to start with the Dodgers claiming a catcher. The Dodgers have claimed Chucky Robinson off waivers from the Angels. And in the corresponding move, they've transferred pitcher Tyler Glasnow to the 60-day IL to make room on the 40-man roster. So essentially, this was the move they were going to make. So it's kind of in reverse. They pretty much took advantage of that roster spot. Tyler Glasnow was placed on the IL on April 28th, right shoulder inflammation. He has been already going through his throwing progression. He has taken steps in the right direction. Dave has already said that he's ahead of Blake Snell at the moment, but he's already missed a little over a month of action, and he is going to need multiple rehab starts before he gets back on the mound for the Dodgers in the show. So by moving him to that 60-day IL, that means that the earliest that he could pitch for LA in a big league game is June 27th. So when you look at when he went down, how much time he's going to need for rehab, this is not going to impact his timeline very much as far as his overall return date, just because he's already missed a good chunk of time. So this really was just a formality and taking advantage of that. Now, the Dodgers, you're looking at a team that's got 12 pitchers on the 60-day IL. 12 pitchers on the 60-day IL. Okay, I mean, you've got an all-star staff down there. I mean, Roki Sasaki, got a little update on him. Blake Snell trying to get him back. Shohei Ohtani, of course, believe it or not, the same guy that leads all of Major League Baseball in home runs, is also technically an injured pitcher rehabbing at the moment. And then the list goes on and on and on. But as far as the move itself, it's an interesting move. Because you look at Robinson, this is not a guy that is going to come into your organization and realize something and unlock something and be this big-time player for you. I mean, you look at the Dodgers catchers now in the organization. You got Hunter Fiducia, you got Chris Oakey. Those are AAA catchers. They have some MLB experience. Don Rushing, he is Will Smith's backup at this point, and he is someone that they are going to use as a catcher when Will Smith gets those days off, and to keep him fresh and to keep him playing at an all-star level like he's been this entire season. Smith has been fantastic. But if you look at Robinson in his career, he's played in 51 major league games. He's had 25 plate appearances in 2022 with the Reds, and he had 26 plate appearances with the White Sox last season. In those games, he's slashed a 132 batting average, a 170 on base, and a 194 slugging percentage in 136 plate appearances. So 25 games with the Reds, 26 with the White Sox, 136 total plate appearances, a 132 batting average combined. As far as his minor league numbers, that's where he spent most of his time in AAA for Salt Lake City this season. He's slashing 272, 315, 388. He's 25% below league average at 75 weighted runs created plus 8 extra base hits in 27 games. And he is someone that is really just a journeyman. I mean, this is not a high pick. I mean, originally he was taken in the 21st round in 2016 by the Astros. And he does have options. I mean, he's in his second year of minor league options this season. So it's a guy that brings you more flexibility. And as far as how this could impact the MLB roster in any way, shape, or form, only way you could think of it is, do they look at Don Rushing, who clearly from a catching standpoint, he looks the part. He can catch at the big league level, pop time, throwing guys out, working with pitchers, calling games, really good for sure. He hasn't gotten a ton of at-bats, though. I mean, Dalton Rushing's gotten just 20 at-bats. He's 5 for 20 in those at-bats with 4 RBIs, hitting 250 with a 68 OPS plus. So he's had some moments, no doubt about it, but only thing you could think of as a way that this would do anything for Robinson is if they want to give Don Rushing more consistent at-bats and they want to send him back down. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. I'm saying if you're going to lay out all the possible options, that's one. I don't think that's the case. I think Don Rushing is comfortable in this role. He's going to make the most of his opportunities, and I expect him to do just that because I think at some point he's going to have to force the issue with them as far as playing time, as far as kind of what they're going to be doing from that standpoint. So I don't think that this is an earth-shattering move. If it's something, nothing, or everything, it's closer to nothing than it is something. I mean, I definitely got to say it is something if that he gets some opportunities, but I don't think it is. It's a depth piece, and they're just taking advantage of the roster spot because you're putting Tyler Glasnow on that 60-day IL. But at some point, these pitchers are going to come back, and these guys are going to be DFA candidates. So that was that. Other one about Alexis Diaz. Dave did say yesterday the plan is to send him down to AAA, to send him to Arizona, to work with their minor league staff, to really familiarize themselves with him. And they see some things in his delivery, and he expects him to join this bullpen and get out right-handed hitters. So they expect Diaz to be something. They have identified something, and they're trying to get him back to being where he was when he was an all-star a couple of seasons ago. So he's someone that he has multiple years of team control left, right? I mean, the Reds, they gave up on him early. He's just 28 years old. So he's someone that either you use or you have to tender a contract. You have to not tender him. So, and you gave up a guy you took in the 13th round to get him. So they didn't get him for nothing, right? They give a little bit. I mean, essentially, if he works out, that's a high value, and they got him for a lot. Is it dumpster diving? Is it shopping on the dollar menu? We'll see. We'll see how that thing plays out. I will tell you a funny story. Yesterday, I was at the game in the press box, and I go to the cafeteria, and I don't know about you guys, man, but like I don't ever drink root beer, like ever. But for some reason, the root beer in the Dodgers media room, it's Barks. Dude, it is so bomb. Like, it is straight to fire. Like, inject that straight in my veins. I woke up today hungover because of how much Barks root beer I drank in the Dodgers media room because I had a bunch of popcorn in that. It was pretty awesome. And anyways, so as I'm doing that, I see Andrew Friedman. He comes up to me, says, "Good to see you, Doug." I give him some knuckles, give him a fist pound. And then I was like, "Oh, so you guys probably need to be in the market for right-handed reliever the deadline, huh?" And he goes, "Good to see you, Doug." And then he kept walking away. So I'm trying to see what I can get from Mr. Andrew Friedman. So I'll definitely give you anything I got from that standpoint for sure. And yeah, see you guys down below in the comments. Taste Snedden says, "Wash root beer down with a torta." I like it. Do it on the reverse. I'll get to you guys. Douglas Anderson rushing needs more at bats and more than one game a week. That's ridiculous. Interesting stuff. Okay, so let's shift gears. That's the player acquisition. You got Chucky. Chucky was always terrifying, man. Chucky scared the crap out of me as a kid. I did not like Chucky. I had some nightmares about Chucky for sure. There's no doubt about that. But now Chucky is on the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's in this organization. But the big story at Dodger Stadium today was Shohei Ohtani back on the mound throwing once again. And Shohei, he went 2 innings. He threw 29 pitches. There was a little uptick in how many pitches he threw this week. He had 1 strikeout. He had 1 walk. He induced 3 grounders. He did give up a couple line drive hits. He was facing minor league hitters from Rancho. Dalton Rushing was behind the plate, and he used his entire mix. That was the positive. Did an up-down. That was a positive. He came out of it feeling good. That's a positive. He does wish that his command was a little better. Didn't love his command today, but it's all about just ramping up, building that strength, going through the process, getting through the routine. And the progression at this point for Shohei, Dave Roberts said, is just upping the pitch count and just continuing this as far as get to 2, 3, 4, 5 innings. Because at some point, he's got to get built up to 5 or 6 innings. And he's doing this without having a minor league rehab stint or anything like that. He's doing this against hitters that they're bringing in, teammates before games that he's hitting home runs. So it's definitely a unique process. As far as velocity goes, nothing official, but Dave did say most likely around the mid-90s. Last week, Shohei said that he was hitting 97, but he is using his entire pitch mix. You're using fastballs, 2-seam, 4-seam, sweeper, splitter. So he's clearly using that entire repertoire at this point. So really, this is the biggest story in Major League Baseball. I've said it before. I'll say it again. No, it isn't Aaron Judge chasing 400. No, it isn't Shohei going for 60, which, by the way, Shohei Ohtani's on pace for 60 home runs. My preseason bold prediction was Shohei would get 6-0. We'll see if it happens. Still a lot of time to go, but he is ahead of his home run pace this year. So I do think that one thing that you might want to do, and Dave was asked about this, and I found it really interesting, is are you going to do a simulation where he's pitching and he's hitting? Let's say you go out there, you do some throwing, then you go to the dugout, maybe pick up a bat, go take an at bat against someone, and then pitch again. I mean, they thought that was very interesting, and Dave said that they hadn't thought about it, and it's a fair question. So clearly they're going to do that because now that he's using his full arsenal, now you're seeing up downs. I mean, as far as this dress rehearsal goes, if you want to get as close to game action as you possibly can, then you have to go that route. Next week, I'm interviewing Jeff Fletcher, who wrote the book on Shohei Ohtani, literally, and we're going to talk to him about the process of Shohei and when he threw with the Angels and how that looked and how that's going to look with the Dodgers. So, yeah. Oh, I got NS Shohei breaking the club record tonight. Yeah, Shohei, he tied Pedro Guerrero and Duke Snider for most home runs in a single month. He has 15, needs one tonight to get it. Yeah, I love what I saw from Shohei yesterday. I thought it was incredible. Shohei Ohtani doing what he does best, and that is put on a show. Be the greatest show in baseball. And he'll never admit it. In a trillion years, he'll never admit that when Aaron Judge went up against Tony Gonsolin there in the first inning and hit a 446 blast to the net in center, he would never admit that, hey, I want to go up there and I want to outshine Judge. I'm not trying to have Aaron Judge come into my house and hit a bomb, right? I want to step up and do the same thing, and I want to outdo him, and he did just that. He goes out there, he hit his own home run. So Shohei would never admit it, but I guarantee you the competitor that he is, that he wanted to go out there and he wanted to impress just like Aaron Judge did, and he certainly did just that. So that was really cool to see Shohei Ohtani go out there and hit another bomb and then hit another home run later in the game. So Shohei was really awesome yesterday. I think that, honestly, I think it's crazy how people were saying that he was not in the MVP, like the leader of the MVP. For me, he comes back, gives you 5 to 10 starts, hits 40-plus home runs. Like, it's a unanimous MVP situation. It has to be a unanimous MVP situation. I mean, there's no doubt about that in my mind that he should certainly be a guy that is going to win multiple MVPs with the Dodgers, but this is going to be someone that there's no end in sight for the big show when it comes to adding those big awards to his resume. So, yeah, it was electric. It felt like a postseason game. I've been to at least 2 games, sometimes more per series at home this year for the Dodgers, just covering it. And I would say yesterday was the loudest I heard Dodger Stadium. It felt like a postseason game. You had the dudes on the top of the dugout doing the flag thing like they do before postseason games. You had bases that said Dodgers versus Yankees. You had merch that said Dodgers versus Yankees. So, yeah, it was a big deal. But here was Shohei Ohtani after the game talking about his big night against the Pinstripes.
Go ahead, Jack. Amigos.
Shohei, what was that 6th inning like to be a part of, and did it remind you of the 5th inning in Game 5 last year?
6イニング目振り返ってなんかワールドシーズンの5回の5戦目の5回みたいなのを思い出しましたか？
そうですね、状況はちょっと違いますけど、はい、逆転で勝つっていうのはいつやってもいいものかなとは思います。
I feel like it's a little different situation, but it's always nice to come back from a losing situation, win the game.
How important was it to sort of have your home run first inning after an Aaron homer, just to sort of reset the momentum, sort of get you guys back focused a little bit?
ジャッジのホームラン後、勢いをつける、取り戻すようなホームランっていうのはどう思いますか？
両チームにとっていいスタートだったなと思いますし、ホームランで1点取られた後にすぐに取り返すっていうのはやっぱりゲームを運ぶ上で大事なのかなと思うので、その後ももちろん劣勢ではありましたけど、みんな諦めてなかったので、そういう雰囲気が最後逆転までいった要因かなと思います。
I think we both teams started on a really good note, and I really thought it was important to be able to score another run in that situation, knowing that momentum is really important in a game like today.
Thanks, guys. 2 questions, Japanese. Clubhouse.
Shohei Ohtani in demand at all times. They're only allowing 2 for Shohei now, which I think is pretty interesting. But, yeah, I mean, this guy is a busy man. He's pitching, he's throwing, he's a dad, so totally understand it. Shohei's the man. Look at that guy on the mound. This is the same dude that's about to hit a bomb he's throwing, so you love to see that. Now, I think the most interesting story right now is about Mookie Betts. And yesterday before the game, Dave talked about it, and then we got some more information after the game. Now, I did see Mookie in the clubhouse. He looked like he was happy. He didn't look like he was thinking it was anything serious, but Dave said it is a fracture at the tip of his toe. It's about how he can tolerate it. He had an issue putting his shoe on, so it gave him some pain and that's why he was in the lineup yesterday. He doesn't think it's going to be an IL stint. It's the fourth toe on his left foot, but he was asked if he could pinch hit. He said he would be lifted to replace him with another player off the bench. And how did it actually happen? Dave said that it was in the middle of the night in his house, in his bedroom, and he banged it. And look, I don't know if you got just crazy. I actually done that before. I don't know if I broke anything, but I've gone to the bathroom. I've walked around in the dark. I have hit my toe pretty bad. Like, it really hurts, but nothing to the point where, I mean, you're hurting your shoe. And look, everyone's different. Everything is different. And I'm just, like, I've seen crazy stuff. Oh, he dropped a bowling ball on his foot. Relax, chill. Okay. I don't think that's what happened. Okay. He did not drop a bowling ball on his foot. Calm down with that. But Dave did say that there's going to be a decision point Monday or Tuesday. Once the swelling goes down, the pain starts to subside, they'll ultimately determine if they're going to put him on the IL. But right now it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. But we've seen this with Tommy Edman. We've seen this with so many guys where it's, okay, this is nothing, then IL. So, like I said, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. The size of Bruce Bochy's head. And from this standpoint, I'm going to wait and see for sure. And Dave did say it could limit his mobility as far as his ability to play shortstop. The way that he hits, he's someone that uses a lot of ground force in his swing. So that's another area that it can impact. He did say it could linger throughout this season. So, wow, this is awesome, right? I mean, for this to be the case, you definitely hate to see this. I mean, I don't want to see a Mookie Betts that's hobbled a little bit, that's not in a great position to do what he needs to do, and that's help this team offensively. And now he's such a big member defensively because he plays such an important premium position that I hope this is nothing. I really, really do. What do you guys think happened, though? I want to read that from you guys and do some more updates, and we'll get out of here pretty soon here, guys. Michael Kopech, he's going to throw Sunday with with Edgardo Henriquez. Emmett Sheehan's also throwing Sunday, so Sheehan's going to go 2 in Arizona. He's looking for 3 and 45 for him. Kopech, he's already gone back-to-back days. He's going to be back pretty soon. Next week, the week after that, at the latest, I would say. Clayton Kershaw, he said he's working on some command stuff, so they're trying to get him back mechanically to a sound place, but Dave feels good about him. Hae-Sung Kim is starting tonight at shortstop, batting 9th. So that's the number one thing I'm looking forward to in tonight's game is how does Hae-Sung Kim play at shortstop? Because if he can perform offensively anywhere near what we've seen in this short sample size, as far as a guy that is going to get an occasional extra base hit, but he's going to at least hit for average, get on base, and use his dynamic base running, that kind of offensive profile statistically, that fits with a really good shortstop. So I could see Hae-Sung Kim being the shortstop for the Dodgers in the future if he can play the position at an above average level, use that youth, use that speed, use that agility. This is a golden glove. Remember they call it the golden glove in the KBO, not the gold glove. He's won that multiple times in the infield. So I'm curious to see how the defense looks at shortstop, and if the offense continues to impress, there's no reason to think why he shouldn't be in the mix to be the Dodgers shortstop moving forward, especially if you're not going to go with Tommy Edman in this situation. Dave said no Tommy Edman tonight because he hasn't played much shortstop this season, still dealing with the ankle injury. And I think they want to use him as a guy that's versatile, shortstop, second base, center field. So that makes sense from that standpoint. So a big night tonight to see how Kim looks offensively with his at-bats, and his playing time has gone down, got just a handful of at-bats in the road trip with the Mets and the Guardians. So I'm curious to see how he looks, and that's the number one thing I'm looking for tonight is Hae-Sung Kim. When can we get the Hae-Sung Kim chant started, by the way? Hae-Sung Kim, Hae-Sung Kim. Need to see that. Roki Sasaki, by the way, Dave checked in on him. He said he's looking more physical. He's playing catch. He's looking good. He's feeling good. So a positive update on Roki Sasaki. I did talk to Freddie Freeman yesterday about the ankle, and Freddie told me that the ankle's not bothering him at all, even when he's playing and even when he's sliding. So that's definitely a good thing, is that you're not being impacted by that in any way, shape, or form. And he's hitting 368, and he has been playing at an MVP level all season. I mean, that's how good Freddie Freeman has been this year. Here's me asking Freddie last night about the ankle, and listen to what he had to say, man. It feels like he's just kind of just a warrior, and he's just playing through this. But it's unbelievable. For anyone not to be at 100% and hit 368, you got to marvel at that.
Freddie hitting 368, even when dealing with kind of comeback from the ankle. Has that impacted you at the plate at all and just kind of your routine?
No, my same routine every day. I feel good. I'm not thinking about my ankle at all right now. I mean, it's taped with heel lifts, so we're just trying to manage it. Sliding and rundowns probably didn't help it so much with the 4 o'clock game tomorrow, but I feel good. I'm not thinking about it while I'm playing. Routine's the same, so hopefully we keep it going. It was more the rundown. The rundown actually kind of got me a little bit, but still can slide, I guess. Well, I mean, when Shohei hits the home run, you're within 2, and then Teoscar gets a hit, Will gets a hit, and as an offensive player, you just want to keep that line going. So you're just trying to do anything you can to not really ground into a double play that right there, and get the righties up. As lefties against Max, I'm just trying to hit a single. Shohei might be thinking different things as lefties, but when you're keeping it close and Tony's keeping it close as an offense, you want to do everything you can. And when you can feel a little momentum, guys getting hits, you just try and keep that line moving. We were able to do it. And Michael was a huge at-bat against Tim Hill to get that walk. There was just a lot of good things.
So there you go. Freddie Freeman have an incredible season. The doubles machine tied Ken Griffey Jr. yesterday for doubles. I mean, this is a guy that's going to the Hall of Fame. And I'm telling you right now, the better he is, the more great seasons he has, the better the chances he goes in as a Dodger, which I think he should. Don't go with the organization that stabbed you in the back. Don't ever do that. Matt Olson, you got to be kidding me. Okay, guys, so I want to get your predictions tonight. Who you got hitting the home run? I was 1 for 2 yesterday. I had Shohei Ohtani, but I also had Mookie Betts who didn't play. So there we go. We're even. Couple more, though. Evan Phillips, he is going to be out for the entire season. Evan Phillips is done for the year. Tommy John surgery for Evan Phillips. Saw him in the Dodgers clubhouse yesterday. You could see, hey man, it's a tough world. It's just a reality for the position. And he pitched in 7 games this season. What I say a couple days ago, after they made the trade for Alexis Diaz, I said the reason why I'm so concerned about Evan Phillips is that he had pitched in 5 2/3 innings, had 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, had 1 save, and he hadn't given up a run. It was just a pain. He wasn't bouncing back. He'd had a PRP shot, didn't work, and yeah, it's unfortunate for Evan Phillips that he's going to be out for the entire year. And you really feel bad for the guy. I mean, he had been on the injured list with right forearm discomfort since May 7th. They transferred him on the 60-day IL, and he missed the first 21 games of the season. He was making his way back from right rotator cuff issues. He had a right rotator cuff strain in his shoulder during the postseason, and he hadn't really thrown a baseball at all until he had pitched, and he finally gets back in there and goes through the process and just doesn't work out. Unfortunately, like I've been saying, the Dodgers kind of paying the bill for that postseason run where you really lean heavily on your bullpen, and that's just kind of how it goes. So he is making $6.1 million this year. He's got 1 more year of arbitration left, so that's going to be interesting to see what the Dodgers do with him. I mean, I think that it's got to be a pretty decent chance that he probably pitches last baseball with the Dodgers based on that. So yeah, I mean, that's just the harsh reality of being a pitcher in Major League Baseball in 2025. Okay, guys, so keep it moving here. Let's get your predictions. Evan, take my shoulder. Val Reyes says Teo homers. Ellis Shiva Jones, Freddie hitting a double tonight. Predicted. Fridays at John's. The Yankees aren't good. Okay, so real quick, I caught up with my good friend Ben Casparius after the game, and he didn't have the lights out appearance that we saw from him on the road, but still he was fantastic. I mean, he comes in a big spot with a tying run on second there in the 7th, and he's able to get out Goldschmidt, the notorious Dodgers killer. So I was really impressed with Ben Casparius, and here was my quick convo with him, and the reason why we're kind of keeping our voices low is because they were doing a scrum with Teoscar Hernandez around the same time. So here was me and Benny C from the Dodgers clubhouse.
Dodgers high leverage reliever, big breakout season, Ben Casparius. Ben, just kind of, you come tonight, big situation, kind of fall behind the count, be able to get that out. Just kind of what went through that at bat.
Yeah, I mean, just try to be competitive over the play with the slider. Didn't get the chase I wanted. Trusted the curveball and the 3-run count right there. Got a ground ball ultimately, and led us into the next inning. And I think it felt good overall.
And you come back out the next inning. What did you just kind of see during that inning?
Yeah, I think with the Rice at bat, I was just trying to be a little bit too nitpicky. Led to a walk, and then kind of tough luck with the ground ball that got through. But overall, I felt pretty good. To get 2 pinch hitters up there, hand the ball off to Tanner, let him do his job, and get out of the inning. And then obviously Best came in and was lights out. So good win for us.
Yeah, and you guys have dealt with some injuries again. The news today on Evan Phillips. Dave talked about your role being kind of elevated a little bit. Just like, where are you at as far as just embracing being that high leverage righty out of the pen, and do you want that role?
Yeah, no, of course I do. I think it's been an interesting year in terms of just the role changing. But again, not just getting comfortable in a single role. So now that it could be shifting, it's something that I'm looking forward to. It's obviously Evan's one of our best dudes, so to kind of be put into the same category as him in terms of what we can do is pretty cool.
Yeah, and outside of that appearance against the Cubs, a 1.30 ERA this season. I mean, what has been the difference in you just taking the leap that you've had this season?
I think just commanding the ball. Obviously, the cutters played a huge part of that. Just another option in zone that's might even be better than my fastball in terms of just how much I'm throwing it for a strike, and just another in between speed pitch that they have to be honest to both sides of the plate. And I think I'm just for the most part getting into good counts.
And you pitch against this Yankees team in the World Series. We talked about just this kind of having like a postseason-like atmosphere. What did it feel like out there?
I felt as close to the World Series as it gets, especially going out there with the lead, getting that trust from Doc to stay in the game right there, and go back out there for the 8th. It was awesome, and it's going to be a fun next couple of days for sure.
Shohei Ohtani, 2 bombs. Did they ever surprise you guys what this guy does down there?
Never. He's getting hot right now. It's got to be his 3rd or 4th leadoff home run in the last 10 games or so. So it's never surprising. It's just kind of fun to watch, fun to witness, and he's incredible.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ben. Congrats on all your success this season. Keep it going, my man. You got it, dude.
Appreciate it, bro.
My man, Ben Casparius. By the way, I showed Ben Fangraphs in his profile on Fangraphs, and it's a picture of Matt Sauer. And I told Ben, hey, I'm going to email the admin, the good folks at Fangraphs, and say, hey, put some respect on my man Benny C. Ben Casparius, Casper the not-so-friendly pitcher to hitters, okay? They call him Caspy in the clubhouse. So I'm going to hit up Fangraphs, show some respect on my guy, get the right picture there, and I will do that. But okay, guys, and read your comments. I've got, I saw Max Muncy homer. That's interesting. I could see Max is getting close to. By the way, I have an interview with Aaron Bates, Dodgers hitting coach. I'm going to drop on Monday. But here we go. Hector Ramirez says Tommy Edman home run tonight. D-Mac. Ruben Mendoza says Muncy and Conforto. D-Mac, man, what a mix of Felix. Always appreciate you. A Shohei bomb, a Teo bomb, a shutout from Friday at John's. No El Machingona. Conforto will be today's MVP, said no one ever. Come on, you almost had me. Evan, take my shoulder. Some more Bellinger over 4 again. Ben looks like a killer from SK. Comfort is back. Game-winning walk last night. By the way, it was a funny thing with Conforto. I was talking to him after the game about how he picked that new walk-up song by Chaperone, like Pink Pony. And he said that when they were coming back from the series against the Mets and they were on the train, they were all talking to him as a team. They're having a lot of fun, and they were saying that we're going to make you change your walk-up song, and then you can only change it until you get your first out. And they were considering a Miley Cyrus song, but they ended up going with the Pink Pony, and they had a lot of fun with it for sure. Nando 390, D-Mac doing an ASMR voice while interviewing Casparius. I'm telling you, I just want to get in trouble because I'm not good at having an inside voice, right? I don't got that good library keep it down voice. So I didn't want to get in trouble, but that's pretty funny. Nando is always bringing the fire takes from our guy, Nando. Actually, you know what? So here we go. Bruh. There it is. Make Big Ben our clothes from George King. I like that. Casparius Rex, okay. D-Mac does Nat get us 4+ tonight. G. Ivan, I'm going to say, look, I mean, based on his last start, went 6 innings, was really, really good. And weren't for some shoddy defense from Muncy, it might have been the best start of his career. Probably still honestly was, considering the offense, considering the situation. So no doubt about it. Ken Wheat, appreciate you. My guy over on Facebook, Roy Estrada. This is the take of the show. Roy Estrada's got Kim going deep. Show bomb for Hesson Kim. And then after, I want to hear the Hesson Kim chants. Sergio Avila, D-Mac, what would your walk-up song be? I kind of go back and forth, but you know what it would be? I would do the theme from the 90s cartoon Nickelodeon Doug. No, my girlfriend isn't patting mayonnaise. Okay, I had to live through that. People would say that. I would go to class and people would do that. When I was at the play, look, I don't want to talk about it. All right, guys. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. LSU Jones, by the way, has Muncy. I don't know. It says Muncy, so you guys get the Muncy vibes. I like that. The hub intro, NS. I don't know what you're talking about. But, all right, you guys are crazy, man. This is where it falls off the rails, as always. But where's mayonnaise? BC, relax. Yeah, you know what? I got to go. All right, guys, enjoy the game. See you a little later. And Dodgers get the dub. They get the series win. They get some more home runs. I'm going Muncy home run tonight, too. I'm going Muncy home run tonight, and then another one from Shohei, and then Shohei sets the record for most home runs in a month in Dodgers history. Nando Smalls from the Sandlot crew. No, it's all good, Nando. I love you. But all right, guys, see you next time. Remember that nothing, absolutely nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. Do me a huge favor. Hit the like button. Drop some comments down below. And until next time, as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.